pumped up kicks, you better run, outrun my gun. And there we go, we're live. I don't have like these fancy streamers with a bit of intro music and a show opening tune. I just listen to the radio while I get set up, and I will sing you a short section of the song I last heard on the radio. Because that's how we do at MoDXtra Games and Collectibles. I'm live. Oh, Will's here already. Hello, Will. How you doing, my man? Pleasure as always, my brother from New York. What are you up to? What's going down? You on the buzz? You on the buzz? As we say around these parts. You on the buzz? Making your way home from work? Well, I've been at work today. I had to go to the office today. Ugh. Horrible. Hate going to the office. Right then, let's have a look. What we got going on? Paisano, what's up? Paisano, that's another very, well, I associate that with a very kind of New York sound. Paisano. With your Power Rangers there. Very good. Connor's here. I suppose I can stay up for a little bit, he says, thinking face. I thought you changed your work from home day, just on the off chance that I might stream on a Tuesday night. Yeah, Willie's on the bus on his way home from work. I knew he would be. Here's Jono. How you doing, Jono? You right? Folks are rolling in. Managed to get a bit of time to do a Tuesday night stream, which is exciting. Very exciting. I had the foresight to prep everything up yesterday because I knew I was going to be in the office today. And really, I shouldn't be doing this because I've got to go into the office again tomorrow. But as my wife reminded me, she's like, you got to have a life. You got to do your things, man. You know what I mean? It can't all be about the kids, the dog, and work. Oh, you're off today, so you're in tomorrow. All right, well, I'll let you off. Here is Flaffle in the house. How's the other side of the pond? It's cold, man. Winter has come. Winter is here. And it's snowy and frosty and freaking cold, man. Freaking cold. It's absolutely brassic. It's ridiculous. I basically can't feel my toes right now. And my testicles are completely retreated inside me. Yeah. I agree, Jono. Today would have been a good day not to leave the house, but I had to go into the office today. So I had to leave the goddamn house. And then the room we were in, it's just like one of those classic, meeting rooms, really shitty chairs. And I was in there all day long and the room was freezing cold. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What is it with these companies and their incapability to afford central... Well, in fact, the room is a weird room because they've got a set of radiators down one wall that are just like permanently on, regardless of what time of year it is. And then on the other side of the room... It's brassic. It's like half the room's the tropics and the other half of the room's like Finland or something. It's outrageous. It is not a very comfortable or conducive working environment for all day long meetings. Literally all day long meetings. The meeting started at 9:30 and I stepped out the meeting at 4:30 in the afternoon. Which was a fucking joke. And it was all bobbins as well. All just businessy speak bobbins. But that's okay, because I can just hook up with you dudes and have like a proper conversation about proper things, like action figures. Jason's here. All right, Chris. All right, Jason. All right, Jace. Is Jace all right? Do you mind, Jace? My man, Jace. Pleasure to have you with me here. And Bobby Wald, sounds like it's time to start dressing up like a snow serpent with a timber cloak. Well, actually, what I was going to do is I was going to put on some jogging bottoms, take off my shoes, take off all my layers at the top, and then just put a parka over it. Paisano, all day for real. Kool-Aid drink meeting. Yeah, man, but the way I see it is they're paying me to just sit there. So, can't complain. Really. If my biggest complaint is the chairs are uncomfortable and the room's too cold, when, there's folks who do... Like my wife, she works in healthcare. You know what I mean? She's grinding all the time. No lovely work from home days for her. Just sitting, just being clicky and writing reports and shit like me. That's right. Just confession. Honestly, I've still got the shirt on I was wearing at the office today because that's how much of a scummer I am. But been busy. Been busy. Walk the dog. That's the other thing when it's cold. You know what I mean? The pup. Taking the pup out. Jesus Christ. Fur coats and canes need to come back. I reckon I could pull off a fur coat and a cane. Cloaks definitely need to come back. What if you took a blanket in there? What, the meeting room or in here? In here's not too bad. And it'll warm up, especially warm up because I've got the lights going. So that'll warm me up. What would they say? To be fair, I don't think anyone would object if I was, if I took a blanket in or, rubbed up with my hoodie over my shoulder, and then just threw it on. I actually genuinely don't think anyone would be bothered. It is completely casual dress now. Business dress code is long gone, isn't it, since the lockdown and what have you? So completely casual dress code. I'm making the choice to put a shirt and shoes on, although I was wearing jeans and a sports coat. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was suited and booted or anything. But there are folks who, just bimble around in literally whatever's comfortable. And in the summer, there's proper just like cargo shorts and shit. So I think I probably would have been all right if I'd have carted in a blanket or whatever. But the plan is tomorrow is a V-neck or a zip-up cardie. That's the direction of travel on that front tomorrow, which should keep me toasty and capable of concentrating on the absolute bollocksy bobbins that we're talking about in the meeting. It is bollocksy bobbins as well. I do a bollocksy bobbins job. Cargo shorts, dang. Yeah, well, it's the middle-aged dad demographic uniform, isn't it? Cargo shorts. Although I saw a guy today in cargo shorts, actually. After just complaining about the weather, and he walked past me. I was out the front of the building having a quick vape while the coffee break had been called in the meeting, and this guy walks past me on the main road. He's in cargo shorts, but then in like a massive super dry parka, and I was like, well, no. that doesn't make sense. Paisano's asking what you're drinking there. Oh, that's just that's orange cordial. It's Robinson's. Are you over in the States, Paisano? You probably don't know all that. You guys don't. Cordial's not like a thing over there, I don't think, in North America. Like fruit juice, basically. An orange fruit juice. Nothing exciting. Certainly not for a Tuesday night. Certainly not like not a vodka and orange. If only I wish that it were so, But you can't drink vodka on a Tuesday night. I have no idea. So I've been asked about this before about cordials. So we have a thing over here. Robinson's is like the famous brand, and I don't know what it's made of. Jono, Connor, can anyone help me explain cordial? And you just pop it's flavored. So I've got orange right now. You can get all sorts, like Vimto and blackcurrant and all that sort of stuff. And you just put a little bit at the bottom of the grass, and then get your water in over the top, and it turns your water into a lovely flavored experience. Cordial is definitely one of those things, though. You got a branded version of a thing and then a non-branded version of a thing. Cordial is definitely one of those like non-negotiables for me. You get the Robinsons. I don't want none of that Aldi off the shelf crap. Robinsons all the way. It's like cereal as well. I firmly believe that like Kellogg's, you got to buy Kellogg's. The secondary imitation brand is not up to scratch, in my humble opinion. Concentrated fruit drink. There you go. Sounds like a mixer. You are definitely allowed to add vodka. Oh yeah. I'm not saying you can't add vodka. I'm just saying with it being a Tuesday night and with me having work tomorrow, I've elected just to go for the orange cordial and water. But yeah, it's quite common in the pubs over here in the UK. They'll have cordials ready to go for various drink combos or what have you. It's made with magic and love. Yes, it is. Oh. Oh right, okay. We don't call it cordial though. That is what over in ROI. So our big brand is MoDXtra. Hang on a minute. That's giving me pause for thought. Are you intentionally sending me down like a read something out aloud and sound like a knobhead with that? That can't be right. Google. I'm checking this before I continue reading Connor's comment. Oh, no, there it is. I can see it. All right, fair enough. There was something about the phrase MoDXtra that I'm probably pronouncing it really badly. Our big brand is called MoDXtra, therefore all brands are called MoDXtra. Yeah, okay, like a Biro or a Hoover. No, honestly, he says. You can't blame me though for like reading that on the screen and then as I said it out aloud, pausing to see if I was about to be maneuvered into like huge donger or whatever, Hugh Donger or something. Or like Colonel Angus, I always chuckle every time I say his screen name out all the time. I'm like just having a little chuckle to myself. You can't blame me for thinking you were trying to maneuver me into something there. MoDXtra is what leaks from dead bats. Very good. MoDXtra is the big one over here now as Robinson's pretty much vanished from the market. Well, that's just set off my sympathy. I'm so sorry, guys, that you can't get Robinsons anymore. Although I'm making that comment without ever trying MoDXtra, so I suppose I am unable to actually make that judgment. Even though I did make that judgment. Taste how you would imagine it. Ay. All right then. So tonight I have gathered up as many of the production leaks. Oh, actually, before I get into that, Real Zim's just rolled in. Everyone say hi to Real Zim. How you doing, my man? But I've gathered up all the G.I. Joe classified production leaks, you know, the production models of the figures that made their way out of the back door, and photos have been taken. I thought that might make for a lovely topic of discussion to get you guys in chat going and talking and stuff, and should certainly be enough to fill an hour to an hour and a half of natter, dissect what we're seeing a little bit. There's a couple of surprises. I think some of you guys, you know, you stay finger on the pulse, much more on the pulse than me sometimes. So I think you'll have seen them floating about. But let's have a peek around and see what's what, and share some thoughts with one another around what looks good, what looks bad, particularly the ones that we've already seen digital renders for. The question, I suppose, that I'm interested in is, as we start to see these photos of them for realsies in 3D plastic form, are they, you know, living up to the dream, the desires, the promise that the 3D renders have offered, or have they confirmed? You know, if we're not so keen on the 3D renders, have they confirmed our suspicions and they do look pants? You know, and for the leaks that are surprises that were like, oh wow, you know, is that something you're excited about? Are they characters that you're into? So let's get into it, shall we? But before we do, no, that's the wrong screen. That's the one. Before we do, we have to take a moment's pause to say hello to Prophet. Welcome, Prophet. Actually, I might make the chat a little bit bigger. I feel like it's a bit hard to see. There we go. Put that down there by General Hawk's belt. And then we also have Ferid Radonkick. Today is Donkey Kong Country's 30th anniversary. Okay. Thanks for the update. I did not know that. Every day's a learning day. And then let's see what folks got to say. Every single leak as a character not on my radar. His wallet is happy. All right, okay. The enthusiasm's overwhelming, guys. Although Prophet said if they release a potato in a box with classified logo, I'd be excited. Well, I don't, you know, no comment, I suppose. Potato in a box. If you want a potato, man, send me your address. I'll sort you out. So I've got to do the old, sources and all that kind of thing. So these hit my radar from the Full Force Podcast's Instagram page. And I believe some of them maybe were rattling around from Bobby V, B's Battleground, his Instagram page. But the main source is Weibo and an individual called JCarn7 over on Weibo. So that's where the sources are. If you want to check out Chris on the Full Force Podcast, then you'll find... Oh, my button's not working. Why is my button not working? Huh. What's going on there? I was trying to share the link. It is in the description down below, but that's a bit disappointing. What's happening there? Is it because I've not got my Streamlabs open? Let's try it now. No, I've opened Streamlabs and it's still not working. So, all right, well, screw you then. Stream Deck, whatever. It wouldn't be a MoDXtra stream if a technical element didn't go wrong, to be fair, would it? So at least I'm consistent, which I think is important. So let me get you that link. I'll have to kick it old school and do a quick copy and paste instead. Now Control A, Control C, and Control V. There we go. So there's the Full Force Podcast on their Instagram, and then I'll give you Bobby B's as well. Control C. No, Control A first, then Control C, and then Control V. Wow. There you go. So these are the two kind of core Western sources of the pictures that I'm using today, but the core source, like I say, is on Weibo, an individual called JCarn7. You'll see actually on some of the pictures JCarn's watermarked over the top of the pickies. So the kind of deeper context to this, I'm not aware of. I don't know if it's a factory employee or somebody involved with Hasbro. I don't suppose we'll ever know. They'll probably keep that on the DL. There has been some speculation that some of these leaks are deliberate and intentional in the past, haven't they? But, whatever. Very disappointed my thing's not working. What's Will saying here now? I'm always surprised that they make some of these obscure characters visually interesting and appealing. I am looking forward to getting the Frag Viper in hands. Yeah, we'll have a look at that Frag Viper in a second. But first on the list is the Blowtorch body, a headless Blowtorch body. So I know that some folks, when they saw this on the digital render, were a bit like, I don't know, the colour scheme, the style, the design. They found it a little bit off-putting. I was all right with it, actually. I kind of thought it was intriguing. It definitely piqued my curiosity. But I must admit, having seen the actual figure, obviously the head excluded there, I'm liking the look of that quite a bit. The colour scheme doesn't seem quite as bright and in your face and as vivid as it seemed in the digital render, and therefore those little shiny silver discs, whatever they are, like fire retardant things or something, they don't seem quite as I don't know what the word is. Like they don't stand out as much randomly. So I like the look of that. Although I am eager to see the helmet. I am very eager to see the. A lot of these are headless. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's to do with which part of the factory or the workshop you work in. What you can get your hands on. So now after seeing that, I'm even more on board. Definitely like the look of this. The kind of realization of what they showed us in the digital render looks solid to me. Looks interesting, looks exciting, looks like a good figure overall. So I'm on board for sure. However, the point of these live streams, of course, is so that I can get real-time live opinions. So tell me, folks, what did you think about the digital render? And then now that you've seen that, does it change your mind? Does it reinforce your thinking? Where you at? Connor is, I defo want a blowtorch. Although the cynic in me thinks this blowtorch was designed with the retro version in mind. So do you mean that, Connor, they've designed it and we're getting a mainline one, but it's actually the retro card back. You know, a later re-release on the retro card back. Is that what you mean? Jason Keane, Blowtorch is a must for me to get more of the original Action Force Joes. Yeah, very good, very good. I think I'll definitely be. Yeah, I like the look of the digital render, and I said then. I'm up for it. I like it. Now that I've seen that, I'm even more excited. You know. Jono here, cool looking figure, will defo stand out on the shelf. Yeah, and that's something else that I've said before. Like, so the Cobra side of the shelf is quite eclectic and random, and you know, there's lots of characters with like weird and wonderful shelf presence on the Cobra side of the shelf. But sometimes on the G.I. Joe side of the shelf. So when I switch out me far end spice rack with me Joes, and if I do like a G.I. Joe lineup, the colour palette can feel a bit. I don't know. You see, I always feel a bit weird because what I was about to say is you can feel a bit bland, and it's because the dudes in military uniforms, and I always feel a bit weird calling that out as a criticism because obviously it's a military line and they are dudes in military uniforms. Well, not just dudes, of course. You know, let's not. We could do with more females, so it's largely dudes in military uniforms, but you know, it's folks in military uniforms, so it's all black, green, brown. A bit of grey here and there. It's all kind of very bland in that sense. If you do put a splash of colour in there, it's dusty with the desert camo colours and things. You do get some interesting splashes of colour. So I use Spirit quite often, or Tiger Force Outback to just give it a little bit of shelf lift and give a bit of colour pop. And it is an unfair criticism because they are soldiers, you know. But I do like when a character like this comes along that just gives it something. And the storytelling that you can do with that display opens up a bit more then, doesn't it? Because you've got a character that not only has shelf presence because it gives it a bit of colour and stands out in the crowd, but also that idea of, his specialism gives you a sort of new space to explore with some photos or some sort of diorama style displays. So that's a very long way of saying, I agree, Jono. They will definitely stand out on the shelf. Real Dim likes how Blowtorch is shaping up. Fuller's figures, remove the silver discs and add brighter yellow. Boom, retro version good to go. I thought, it could be my memory now, didn't the original vintage figure have the silver discs too, though? Am I remembering that incorrectly? It's always a bit hazy. Yojo.com will be able to tell me. He says, Googling. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. I have misremembered that. Oh, well, they're kind of there, aren't they? The shapes are sculpted in, but they're not. So I've obviously filled in a gap in my head there, haven't I? Or I've seen this one and just assumed that it's a replication of the original look. So totally see where you're coming from there, Connor. Bobby Dub, some of the digital renders and some of the things they tease don't look all that great, but once they're in hand, they're amazing. I agree. Will's on board. Blowtorch looks cool. Definitely add him to the collection. Profit says there, the retro being brighter colours. I like the more subdued colours. Yeah, but what Connor's saying is that the vintage figure, was like on the yellow. It was like out there, wasn't it? Plapple's game for Blowtorch. So far, retro is leaders, key characters, OG13, troop builders. Is that right? I must admit, I don't pay all that much attention. A few of the regular Joes. Yeah, because in retro, you've got Recondo. Is Lady J considered a leader? Or she's OG13, isn't she? Connor agrees. Yeah, so the yellow, it's like an orangey yellow, isn't it? It just all kind of works. It's all kind of coming together. Oh yeah, Rock and Roll was OG13, Jono. Lone Dragon's here. Hi, Lone Dragon, you okay? Oh, Lone Dragon, I found it. So give me a day or two, I'll get that out to you. I found it. It was right at the bottom of one of the boxes. As I said, I think I messaged you saying I don't know where I put it, but I found it. You'll be pleased to know. So keep an eye on your post. And welcome as well. Everyone say hi to Lone Dragon. Pod Racing Palpatine's here as well. Hello there. Wave. Very good. Sup. Blowtorch. Ew, no bloody way. No bloody way. So Blowtorch, yeah, good. I think it sounds like we're of primarily a consensus here that he's looking like a good character. We're definitely all eager for him, and now sort of seeing stuff like this, the reality of it in three-dimensional plastic form is getting us excited. Who's next on the list? Oh, okay, this is an interesting one. Did you guys see this knocking around? So this is, apparently, the rumor is that this is a version 2 Breaker on the way. I think it was Breaker I read. Who's usually pretty good at staying on top of these things. Flaffle will know, or Bobby, which I think is interesting. And then I saw some comments about the fact that that's a Ripper over there, and that maybe there's a retro car back Ripper on the way was the secondary rumor here. So interesting. I think it's good for. What did Breaker come with? The bike. Was it the bike? I didn't buy the bike. So it's handy, I suppose, if you want a Breaker but you don't want the oh shit. You know what? This always happens to me. This is a problem with streaming at 10:30 at night. What's the name of the bloody motorbike? God damn it. But anyway, you know, so someone like me who's trying to stay clear of too many vehicles in the collection, then getting a retro car back version of the character would be welcome. It's certainly my wish that they use the retro car back option like they've done with Retro Coco, to bring a Wild Bill and a new Baroness to the line. The Ram, thank you, Lone Dragon. That was, God damn it. I was honestly just sometimes, you know, at 10:30 at night, I get an absolute barrier on these things. Prophet agrees. Yeah, Breaker could use a non-RAM offering. I think bloody hell. Now, you American folks are gonna have to start coming and joining my streams like in the middle of the afternoon, because clearly there is a brain to mouth disconnect that happens when I try and talk. Can't even remember the name of the Ram, for God's sakes. What was it saying now? And a total breakdown. Lawrence. It does work. I checked it after we spoke. I did check. You're soft. Thank you, my man. Lawrence from A Poke with Toy, everybody. Say hello to him in the chat for me, please. Right, shit. What was I saying now? Prophet agrees with me. There it is. That we could do with a non-RAM offering. Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of one of the nice things about the retro car back stuff, isn't it? That you can get these characters that maybe have been included in HasLabs or with larger vehicles that you can't get your hands on otherwise. So it looks like we've got a bit of a consensus once again. Will says never bought Breaker because of the RAM cycle. Yeah, absolutely. Same as me, Will. I did the same. Bobby Dubs, I want to see the green shirt team to tag along with the Dragonfly like the 788 fire team. Yeah, so do you know what? I speculated that might be an upcoming set release, but never happened, did it? They never announced anything. Or like a ground crew or something, you know what I mean? Connor, the middle one looks like the Thor dude from the Netflix movies he did. Oh, I know what you mean. Extraction. Was it Extraction? Something like that. Oh, well, I'm going to have to pause there. Punk with Toys with the $1.99 super chat. Well, I said you just do 50 cents. Everyone's saying hi to Lawrence there. Give Breaker better accessories. Right on, brother. Lawrence is hoping all is well. Then we got Asteroid Fitzgerald, which first time posting, I think, Asteroid Fitzgerald. So everyone say hi to Asteroid Fitzgerald for me. But speculating that you'll probably come with Grunt's loadout, yeah, I could see that actually. Well, and I wouldn't be too adverse to that. I know some folks don't like too many repeat kind of loadouts with too many characters, but that would work for me. That would be fine. G-Force is here. How you doing, my man? I watched your unboxing for Mr. B earlier today. You may be interested to know. Yes, it was Extraction. Yeah, it does kind of. I can see what you're saying there. Actually, he's got the Extraction vibe. I should keep pointing over there. I keep forgetting that it's on screen for me over here, but it's on that side of the screen for you guys. So yeah, solid, rock solid. Okay, Breaker, another one that we've got consensus around. I think generally the vibe is a version 2 Breaker is of interest and something that a number of us would definitely jump on board. Particularly those of us who weren't interested in having a RAM. And if it's retro card backed, then that's a good thing. But wait and see. Maybe we'll get a retro ripper. All right, let me see who's next on the list. Oh, this one might be a little bit more divisive. So the Darklon leak. In fact, there were two. So there was this one, which is obviously like the kind of production, just sort of chunked together pieces. And then they had this one here, which has got the painted actual body, but without a completed head. So I put them both on because this one kind of gives us a bit of an indicator as to what's going on with the head. Although Darklon, of course, the OG character is famous for that black metal face mask as a Destro family dude. So interesting, but we'll focus. Take a moment's pause to eye up what you can from squinting, because I tell you what, these folks who post on Weibo talking about potatoes, it said the potatoes profit, talking about potatoes, they're obviously not running the latest versions of your best Samsungs or your best iPhones or whatever, because they're taking photographs of these figures on potatoes sometimes. I've always suspected that it's because they're obviously not supposed to be taking pictures of these and posting them on the internet, so they're just getting the best shot they can in a split-second moment. But yeah, have a squint taking the head, but I'll rest it on this one here because it's got the accessories and stuff. But here's Darklon. And so, obviously, in the Iron Grenadier space, so nice to see the Iron Grenadier roster filling out even further. So we've obviously got the Iron Grenadier itself, the Iron Grenadier bat. We've got Metalhead. We have a Destro, although it's not the Iron Grenadier LED version of Destro. But we've got a Destro we can use at least, and now Darklon's on the way. I think this is just one of those characters. It's a bit of a Marmite of classified. You're either into Darklon or not. I had wondered, because Darklon featured in the Skybound Destro miniseries recently, whether it might be a little bit toned down to be a bit more reflective of the character's look and appearance in the comic books. But that doesn't appear to be the case. That's classic look Darklon with the orange and the bright green camo top and stuff, which is interesting. So I reckon there'll be, I suspect, I'm about to dive into the comments and see what you guys are saying about Darklon, but I suspect there'll be someone who'll be like, yes, get me Darklon right now. My man Eric, who incidentally is due to appear on Thursday with a friend, with Lawrence, who's in the chat with us right now, so you should make sure you watch that. And there's the link if anyone's interested in hitting the remind me button. But my man Eric, Charlotte Prime there, also the illustrious leader of the Discord group that I belong to. Let's see if my Discord button still works. No, none of my buttons are working today. Does it? Oh, so why is that working and my other buttons aren't? This one working?
Listen to your friend Chris.
The plot thickens. Some buttons are working and some aren't. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so Eric, big fan of Darklon. He said to me on one of these live streams that he came on with me that Darklon was like his favourite character, his most anticipated character, so he'll be pleased. But the gun, the vintage gun, the sword, it's all there, isn't it? So if you're a vintage OG Darklon fan, then that's going to appeal. If you're not, then it won't. I can't see anyone looking at that and going, well, I was on the fence about Darklon, but now I've seen that, it'll change my mind, because I think the colour schemes and the wackiness of the characters is going to turn a few people off. But let's see what folks are indeed truly saying. So where we were up to? Oh, Prophet here saying maybe it's a teaser Chris Hemsworth as Duke in Joe Transformers crossover. Ooh. I was contemplating that as a bit of fan casting. Yeah, it could work. Johnny says those Darklon colours are loud. Yes, they are. Yeah, Connor straight in here. This would be a pass for me. Sure, okay. Flaffle here. Hasbro released 50 to 60 Joes a year now, and only 9 are retro, so don't bank on a lot of figures being retroed. Oh, okay, we're still on the retro conversation there. Another strand. That's not feedback on the Darklon from Flaffle. So he's not coming with the Oompa Loompa head. G-Force here. The figure itself has to stand out to me, or it has to be a core character from my childhood. Yeah, okay. So kind of reinforcing what I suspected was going to be the case. If it's not a character that you're in love with from back in the day, there's got to be something about it that just turns your head. So the question now, G-Force, then, is what you can see of Darklon here. Is that turning your head? Is there something that stands out to you? Jason, easy pass. Asteroid Fitzgerald, colours too bright for my liking. Prophet, though, looks intriguing. Yeah, so you guys know, the regulars around these parts know full well that I'm into the I love the balmy, wacky stuff. I'm all over it. So actually, I'll wait and see what the head looks like. But I'm into it because I'm that weirdo. I'm that weirdo who likes the weird shit. So I'm into it. On the fan casting front, then, Bobby says, I'd rather see Hemsworth as Buzzer, Carl Urban as Ripper, and Hugh Jackman as Torch. I'm not so sure about Hugh Jackman. That one doesn't... I'm less sure about that choice. That's not to diminish, it's your fan casting, Bobby. But I like the idea of Hemsworth as a Buzzer, because he's an Aussie as well. Carl Urban as Ripper. Yeah, I can see that coming together. Interesting. Keep the fan casting going. Well, let's make that a fun little theme for the rest of the stream. Punk Victoria's here. Yes, tune in Thanksgiving to see this, man. Not sure you'll be entertained, but we sure entertained ourselves. Yeah. Did you check? We've pre-recorded Lawrence's Thursday with a friend that's happening over Thanksgiving, and I am the guest for that very illustrious episode, and to which I'm very grateful to Lawrence for having me on. But we went for a long, long time, and I think Lawrence recorded the entire thing. So make sure you clear out your nights if you're going to watch that. Right, not for me, says G-Force. Lone Dragon says the heads are too small on most of these. Lone Dragon, you're going to have to clear up for me whether you... I think you're making a very humorous joke about the fact that they're all headless so we can just see the pins. But now I'm curious. It crossed my mind to know whether sometimes you do genuinely think the heads are a bit too small as well. Oh, we got Paul Galliano in the chat, folks. First timer. So please say hi to Paul for me. Hey, Chris. Love your classified vids and wish I could stay for this, but I'm working and just saw this and wanted to say hi. Well, that's fine, Paul. Thank you very much for swinging by and saying hello. Thank you very much for your warm, kind words as well. It's my pleasure to have you in the MoDXtra Games and Collectibles viewing community and taking just a brief moment while you're in work to come and say hi. So really appreciate that. Thank you, my man. And I hope to see you around these parts again maybe sometime soon. Yeah. Otherwise, keep up the good work, brother. It's all loaded and looks good. Neither of us are upside down. But are any of us in slow-mo? You'll have to watch it to get those inside jokes. Hey, Mr. B's here as well. Hello, Mr. B. Everyone say hi to Mr. B. So if you are just joining us, just as Mr. B is, then we're just taking a closer look at some of the leaks that popped out over the last couple of days. Yeah, just roll with it. We're sharing thoughts. Prophet's got to run off and get some groceries, he says. Yeah, so good luck, my man. Grocery shopping is like my least favorite activity in all the world, but thank you for swinging by. And yeah, if you get a chance to catch the replay, that'd be brilliant. But if you don't, well, that's okay too. Classified bits. Everyone's saying hi and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, there's Darklon. So let's move on to the next one. Who's next on the list? Oh, yeah, this should be a pretty quick one. So it's the Firefighter, the, what are they calling it now? I was going to say 60th anniversary, but it's not Legacy, the Legacy Firefighter. So again, the digital render came along. I was quite keen on this. I like the idea that it's, you know, this emergency responder is sort of generic enough that if I wanted to chuck this guy into, you know, behind the scenes in the background of a post-superhero battle with some of my Marvel Legends, I can, or, you know, you can get it mixed in and utilized in a variety of ways, which I thought was particularly interesting. I like the snow job body for it. I think that was good. The accessory selection, just for interesting stuff to play with. But look at it looks cool. It looks fine. You know, that's how I anticipated it looking. I think the high vis bits pop and look nice. It just looks well put together. So I'm definitely up for it for sure. I think there's a lot of opportunity. Some interest. Again, you know, going back to what I was saying before, like if you want to throw together an interesting shelf, it just opens up a couple of avenues, doesn't it? You know, a couple of avenues of some interesting stuff. So if you want to get your shelf display and get it a bit dioramaed up into something interesting, then the presence of a firefighter in there. And now we've got, you know, Blowtorch on the way. We've had Torch. We've got what's his face, Barbecue. It's you know, it's just adding a bit of depth, and you know, a generic firefighter dude in the background of that, or contributing to the storytelling around that, I think is a good idea. So that is exactly as I anticipated it looking from seeing the digital render. I think the high vis stuff looks really good, actually. I was hoping it would pop, and I think it does pop. So yeah, but again, the point's not my opinions. You all know what I think from, because you've all obviously watched the digital render reviews at least twice over each. So let's see what the folks in chat have got to say. Jono there, the firefighter looks cool. We're of a like mind quite often, me and Jono. Flaffle, snow job repaint! I'm assuming you said it like that because it's in capitals. Connor here, 100% want the firefighter, just an all-round cool figure to have in 6-inch. Yeah, exactly. You could just, you know, if Classified died tomorrow, your firefighter you could just use with anything, any new 6-inch line, whatever. Get the firefighter putting out some flames after your Jada Ryu's thrown a fireball or whatever. I don't know. You know, do you know what I mean? You can just do whatever you want with it. Jono likes the reflective strips too. Yeah, brill. Like I said, like me and Jono quite often. Oh, Will, you've mentioned this to me before. So Will's dad was NYC FD. So I'll have to get one just for that. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Flaffle agrees. Looks good. Accessories will be important. Yeah, so we've seen the accessory selection in the digital render. So that's good to see. Asteroid Fitzgerald, it looks nice. Hopefully we'll get some police or paramedics. Yeah, so Emily said that when they did the reveal of this of the firefighter, they said that this legacy line will be focused on emergency responders, and we'll be getting another emergency responder in 2025. So keep fingers crossed. But yeah, a Bobby paramedic. It'd be nice to have something. You know, again, when you talk about that idea of storytelling and opening up some kind of other spaces and some other avenues, all of those are just useful, good, like Connor said, you know, just a good quality 6-inch figure to have in your collection that you can use in all sorts of contexts. So yeah, some police, some paramedics, stuff like that. Somebody, and maybe it was Fluffle, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe someone who's hanging around here, I suspect one of the regulars, would mention like, wouldn't it be cool if we got like mountain rescue and I can't remember, I can't quote, but like just some more obscure, kind of really curious and interesting emergency responders as well, which I thought was an interesting idea. Jason King kind of looks like Nemesis Enforcer's face. It kind of does a bit, actually. Kind of does. Nemesis Enforcer broke one of my flight stands, folks. This big honking guy, I had him on a... to be fair, it was just like a cheapo Amazon flight stand. But he gradually dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. And then I came home and found that it snapped at the base. And he was just face planted the floor down there. Yeah, big chunky boy. Oh, see, now he's bending the thing again. You got to be careful when you do a display, can't you? You can't touch stuff. I saw that out later. I'll put Nemesis Enforcer back up later. Just an audience of people watching me put my Nemesis Enforcer on the shelf. Bobby Dole's next. I can't remember if I said my idea before, but I'm going to pose him at the bottom of my shelf with a rabbit deploy cushion to catch the other falling figures. You did tell me that, but I think it was in when we were chatting in Discord. I think you mentioned that, my man. But that would be super fun. Totally, just like G-Force is in for 2. Oh, hey, Eric's here, popping in before dinner guests show up. Oh, okay. Well, have a lovely dinner, my man. Thanks for swinging by. And being a fine figures here as well. Hello, my man. Oh, you made it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Pleasure to see you. Everyone say hi to Being Fine Figure. Everyone say hi to Eric. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, go check out Being a Fine Figures YouTube channel as well. Another one to add to the list along with Connor there. And of course, Lawrence, who's lurking around in here as well. You know, these YouTube reviews, they're like Amazon reviews. You don't make your decision on just the one at the top, do you? You read a couple. And that you should be the same with your action figures as well. Everyone's saying hi to the new arrivals there. Lone Dragon, a female Secret Service agent with a non-functional holster. Connor's asking, I suppose the sexy nurse isn't on the cards. Lone Dragon, there you go. Forest Rescue and Coast Guard Rescue Divers. Sure, I think so. Apologies, Lone Dragon. I misattributed your comment to Flaffle there. But still, nonetheless, doesn't diminish the interesting dimensions. You know, the idea that you put on the table there, and it'd be great to see if Classified do some more, not obscure, but more less immediately thought of. You know, less obvious kind of emergency responder type characters that you could use in different types of situations. So a wonderful idea. All right, Firefighter seems popular, so. That's everything's popular so far except for Darklon. Darklon's probably just the one that's got a few polar opinions on it. Next up, we got Footloose. But before we go to Footloose, USO Showgirls for the troops' morale. Would that qualify as first responder? Being a fine figure. I'm still waiting for Past Chris to do a live stream. Past Chris exclusively does packaging reviews and unboxings. That's his only reason for existing. Yeah, that's his only contribution to make to the MoDXtra channel. Flaffle says we need a lifeline. Yeah, we need a lifeline. I saw someone. Again, I forget where, you know, just doom scrolling or whatever, who's having a good old gripe like, how have we not completed the OG13 yet? And how have we not got a lifeline yet? And da-da-da-da-da. And you're absolutely right. We do need lifeline. I really want a lifeline. I'll jump to Eric's comment in a minute. But they're pacing out, aren't they? They're trying to, because the G.I. Joe fandom is such a broad range of, you know, all these different people who've joined at different stages with their own kind of bit of G.I. Joe in their world through the decades. I think they're just trying to spread the love out. And of course, they're trying not to pop their wad too soon, so that if they do all the OG13, loads of folks will just buy them and that'll be it. So I totally agree, Flaffle. We do need a lifeline, but I can also understand why they're sort of taking their time over it. Moving on to Footloose, though. Connor's all in. Flaffle says he looks solid, likes the new rocket launcher. I agree, the new rocket launcher was definitely something I noticed in there, up for that. And then Eric's comment, who's talking shit about Darklon? I'd like a word. Go back and watch the replay, man, because I gave you a shout out at that point about Darklon. You have already been referenced in this stream. I've missed a comment from Jono here somewhere because I've just seen Connor replying to it. They do break up the legs a bit. Yeah, the knee pads. Fluffle's coming swinging in with a question. Oh, see, I made my chat box larger, and now it's dropping off a bit. There you go. Bring that up. So, Fluffle asks, question, we saw Blue Snake Eyes polar bear with the red crystal from the mass device. Do you think that will be the only red crystal pack, or do you think we'll get a Cobra red crystal pack? Ah, interesting. Throw it open to chat. I think they'll milk it. And just smash out as many as they can. Oh, being a fine figure. Controversial comment. Tiger Force Lifeline would be nice. Had one back in the day. Not that controversial. Fluffle there. They did have their own mass device as well. Snake Armor. Yeah. Jason Keane. Footloose is an absolute must. And everyone say hi to UB Play M. Hey Chris, glad I could catch you live. Hope everyone's doing well. Pleasure to have you here, man. You say glad you could catch you live, but you do roll in every now and again. It's me. I'm the one who's infrequent, making it hard for you all to schedule around my schedule. He says, like a massive egotist. Okay, so Footloose, popular choice, I think. Another popular one. Next on the list, we've got the Frag Viper, obviously another headless version. I'm very interested to see the head sculpt on the Frag Viper. Someone, you can see the helmet there. Someone remind me, I feel like they said when they showed the digital render that the Frag Viper's helmet was going to be removable. So I'll be interested to know what's going on underneath all that. But I like the colour scheme. I mentioned when we saw the digital render that I was into the colour scheme, but now seeing it in 3D, I sort of like that brown-blue combo thing. Speaks to me, sings to me. I've never fully understood the Frag Viper, launching like lacrosse thing. My son used to have... yeah, it is you, Chris. Boo this man. Okay, fair enough. It's fine. It's fine. What was I saying now? Yeah, my son used to have a game like he used to play in the garden, which was like a little hook thing that looked like a Frag Viper launcher that you get, tennis balls in or whatever and throw it at a target. And I thought at the time when he had it and used to play with it, I was like, it's just like a Frag Viper from G.I. Joe. Of course, nobody in my real life, in IRL, Chris, knew what the hell I was talking about. But you guys would know. If you'd have saw him playing with it and I said, looks like a Frag Viper, you'd all be on top of it. I feel like that was a bit of a cool story bro moment there, and I apologise for that boring little meander around my son's. Sorry. But anyway, back onto the Frag Viper. So all looking good, all looking interesting. I like the thrown grenade look. The colour scheme is what speaks to me in particular. I was never actually much of a fan of a Frag Viper necessarily, but I like the look of this one. The colour scheme just sort of speaks to me quite a bit. But obviously open floor to see what you guys are thinking. Although it looks like nobody's thinking anything because there's nothing in the chat about the Frag Viper. Oh, here you go. Bobby's coming in. Nothing says authority like a hall monitor sash. Yeah, I like that though. I like the slightly different color blue and the way that it complements the the rest of the color combo and the way it's all put together. I'm into it. Asteroid Fitzgerald says, I'm on the fence about this one. I might have to wait until I see them released. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough, Or until you see some good quality YouTube reviews on the subject that might help you make your decision either way. Jason Keane, nice colour scheme, but nah. All right, okay, fair enough. And G4 saying, Fuller's figures, new custom for you. Master T, Obi-Wan's body with chains and Mr. T's head. Okay, so Frag Viper, I sense folks on the fence, leaning more towards nah. That's fair enough. Next up on my list is Heavy Duty. Oh, but before I do, UB Plays just swung in there. Yeah, I've always liked the Frag Viper. Be glad to add that. And Eric's swinging in. Oh, I feel like there's a time delay because I get all the comments from the Irish folks, and then all the comments from the US folks are rolling in. So I think there might be a bit of a time delay between me speaking over here and you guys getting the signal. Eric's going to pick up 2 or 3 of the Frag Viper, all in on that one. Fond memories of the OG figure. Will's in as well, looks amazing. Like I said, and can't wait to get 2 of them. All right. Flaffle's excited for the Frag Viper. I had him as a kid. Okay. Can't talk though. He's making his dinner. What's next? Pea shooter Viper. Sure, why not? And G-Force is saying the Frag Viper will be an in-store decision. Right, last minute little rush of opinions there that have shifted things a little bit more. But still, I feel like the response was less, immediately out the gate. Like, yes, want it, must have. Heavy duty then. So there was 3 pickies here. I'll just whip through them. We had the front view, the rear view, and then the side view there. But what I'll do is I'll go settle on the front view for the purposes of having a chat. Being a fine figure says, Frag Viper is, I see I'll pick it up, but won't pre-order. Okay. Yeah, interesting. See, that's a thing for us over here, of course, not to set Connor off, but, we don't, G.I. Joe Classified, we can't walk into a Target and just find it on the shelf and go, impulse buy. It just doesn't happen for us over here because it's all Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So you either buy off Hasbro Pulse or you pre-order through an independent retailer, that's importing from the Far East. So Lone Dragon straight in on the heavy duty. Now heavy duty ordered as soon as it drops. UB Play N, real excited about heavy duty. I'm all for the classified update, but glad they still went wild. Yeah, I mean, again, this one to me is oh, I've missed a message out here from Lone Dragon. Is it weird that heavy duty and the Porter John Vipers went up at the same time? I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. It's like when the brainstorming in the in the meeting room in Hasbro, Lenny's there, Emily's there, Tony's there, all the design team. You get on a thread, don't you? You get trapped on a bit of a groupthink thread, and one thing leads to another, and I think that's what's happened there, my man. But yeah, I like it. I like the balmy stuff. I was a bit skeptical about that, the big old like rocket table thing, but the more I look at it, I'm in for him because I just like the figure, actually. Regardless of the weaponry selection, I like the figure. I like the look of the figure. I like the head sculpts, the 2 different head sculpts that are with it, although these are all the baseball capped heads, aren't they? Yeah. So just the figure alone, I like the look of. But to have something like a bit out there, a bit balmy, definitely works for me. Definitely works for me. G-Force there. Hasbro did that on purpose to get spicier content from Connor. No doubt, and he's definitely getting his content time out of it, and his other people's streams comment time out of it as well. Will swinging in there. Heavy duty looks amazing. I'm getting the sense that this is a popular one for sure. Yeah, like I say, I was a bit unsure in the beginning, but the more I've seen, yeah, more interested I am now. Definitely more interested. And I kind of knew heavy duty would be popular. He's one of them characters, isn't he, that folks have warm feelings towards. But yeah, I like that. I just like the figure itself, let alone all the gubbins. GeForce Deluxe pricing. Yes, it is. Hang on. He's already gone on for pre-order, hasn't he? Heavy duty. So I'll do a quick Google foo for you. Everyone sit quietly while Chris looks up a price for GeForce. $34.99. Is that no? So deluxe is the $44.99, isn't it? I can't remember the names of them, but you got the 25, the 35, the 45, and the 55, haven't you? And he's coming in as a 35er. So if that was what deluxe was called, but nonetheless, he's $10 more than your standard, mainline fig. Oh yeah, I went, and everyone, there's people in chat saying clearing it up already. Jono, the figure looks cool. Not sure about the weapons rack though. Yeah, I like the figure. I'm sure I'll have a play with the weapons rack, but I'm in for him. I'm in for him for sure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Paisano. So yeah, it's the figure. So your $34.99 is deluxe. Then your figure and pet, or figure and like robot pet in the case of Scrap Iron. And then your 55. So what's your 55 then? What have I paid 55? How much did I pay for Nemesis Enforcer? What was he? Anyway, we're in the weeds on price. Well, I say we're in the weeds on price. That is kind of like an important consideration, isn't it? Maybe I should talk. Should I be talking about price more? I don't talk about price very much. Let me know. Always happy to debate that further and more frequently. Yeah, so Nemesis Immortal was a $44.99. Is that just because he's a bigger, chunkier boy and he was a convention exclusive? Anyway, I can't remember. They did a whole little thing, didn't they, where they talked through the pricing structure. Venti pricing. Hasbro's so bougie now. Fucking hipster action figure makers. Being a fine figure. $10 more for some weapons, I guess. Asteroid Fitzgerald, he's a skip for me, never cared for the character. Yeah, which is always, it's a consideration, isn't it? Like G4 said earlier, it's got to be head turning, or it's got to be a character that you've got a fond, nostalgic love of. John O, 55 was the ferret price. Yeah, but I wouldn't have paid. I don't buy that. Anyway. Paisano might wait and see if he goes down a bit in price, which I think is fair. Don't guys pay way more over there? Well, kind of yeah and kind of no. It's all about again, not to set Connor off, although I think he's probably gone into headphones mode by now. It's getting late for Connor. He needs his beauty sleep. Because you can't be that handsome and that good looking without, a good sleep regime. As we can all see from watching Connor's videos. Pulls it off. But it's about the exchange rate. So you guys would have a $24.99 figure, $24.99, and they would sell it over here on the mainland for €24, 25 euros, and they'd sell it for here in the UK for £25. So all they've done is just replicated the number, the figure, but when you do the exchange rate, it actually works out that the US figures are cheaper or something. Connor did a video on the subject. Go check out Fuller's Figures. He's got a video where he's broken it down. Flapple, shocked we haven't seen Sci-Fi yet. And John are there. We both pay more and get the figures months later. Another common theme for the streams. I just need to refresh my chat doobry. What's it, guys? Give me one sec. You're chatting too much. You can't keep up with you. It's going too fast, man. Just refreshing. The Nerd Alert is here. What's up, everyone? First time here. I'm Def picking up heavy duty. Hello, Nerd Alert. Welcome, first and foremost. Everyone say hi to Nerd Alert for me and welcome them to the chat. And also, thank you for contributing to the conversation. Def picking up heavy duty. The excitement, the energy. I'm feeling it from your comment, Nerd Alert. It's like speaking to me through the post. It's the exclamation marks. Excellent exclamation mark work, my friend. Paisano, inflation is wild. 1999 a few years ago. Yeah. Will, yes, talk about how much it is in comparison to the US. Yeah, so it's basically, I mean, this happens all the time with products. This isn't an exclusive Hasbro thing. But what they just label it the same price. So if it's, if something's £25 over in the US, they just label it 25 quid, £25 over here in the UK. Even though £25 in dollars is like 22 $2 in actual fact. So, you know, the exchange rate and the you know, the international economic value of the figures. Unless, of course, it's and the only other thing that contributes to that, unless, of course, it's like a niche independent item. So, like, again, Connor Fuller's figures here quite often buys and reviews Valaverse Action Force figures. They're really hard to get hold of over here. There's been some ups and downs, ins and outs going on with regards to the independent retailer that Valaverse has to deal with. So a lot of folks are buying directly from Valaverse and shipping it over, and then your shipping costs, your overall cost of figure when you factor that in. And also what happens is if you import the figure, even though we've paid tax on it, you know, US tax, you end up paying value-added tax in your own country, your own tax. So if you're importing it yourself, your figure price can often inflate massively. So a 30, 35 buck figure from a niche independent like Valaverse or Fresh Monkey Fiction or Animal Kingdom, Warriors of the Animal Kingdom, stuff like that. If you get it over from the States, could mean that you got your figure price, then you got your tax, then you got your shipping, and it soon becomes like outrageous. Bobby Dubs here. It seems like Lenny leans more to the DIC era of figures. Surprised he hasn't done a Battle Armor Cobra Commander. Yeah, and a Battle Armor Cobra Commander I think would be a popular figure if they were to do a Battle Armor Cobra Commander. I think that would be a very popular figure. Fuller broke down the price is so good I felt like I had to apologise on behalf of Hasbro. Yeah, go check it out. Connor, if you are still up and with us, please help me out and post a link to your video where you broke down the pricing stuff, because it was a really well put together video, very well thought through, really explains the situation of what we experience over here. And you know, some of you guys I'm sure would be interested based on your questions in the chat. And G4 says, I have the solution. You all move to the States. There's lots of land and get your figs like the rest of us. I might consider it in 4 years' time, G-Force. I would consider it, but not for another 4 years. Right, who's next on the list? Let's keep this rolling. Oh, yeah, so some pickies of Order from the Law and Order set plodded through. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like the work that they do on the creature companions, but the proportions don't look right on this to me. Proportions don't feel good. I don't know what you guys think. That's obviously the panty tongue good boy face there, but the size and shape seems odd. Now, this could very well be the work of the photographer, the angle, proportion, the perspective or something, but it just doesn't quite feel right. Oh, being a fine figure. Mike keeps cutting off, buddy. Does it? Oh. One second. Wavelength stream. Da, 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 da. We just check my meter. Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Settings. Update. All right, well, I just had a look. Everything's all right, but I am very twitchy about microphone problems because we've definitely had microphone issues before. I did notice it was buffering a little bit. Sometimes my frame rate drops and causes a stutter because my laptop's like, oh, can't handle it. So that may have been what it was, being a fine figure. G4 says, Law and Order are a must. Jono says, Classified have done a great job previously on Animals, but Order looks shit. Yeah, I'm not it just doesn't quite look right, does it? Just like the proportions, and I'm not sure. A few folks saying the mic's been fine. G-Force, dog looks short from nose to tail. I think, yeah, that's what it is. Like, it's just been, which makes me wonder if it's the photo maybe has been squished and compressed. Not compressed, but you know what I mean. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I really want a Law and Order. I'm certainly into the idea of like building out the Rawhides, you know, the movie Rawhides lineup, and Law and Order was a big part of that. So I agree, Law and Order is a must. But just seeing that leak picture of the dog, it's like, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Keep calm and carry on, Prophet. Yes, absolutely, my friend. Bobby Walder's more Scooby-Doo proportions. Yeah, Scrappy-Doo, in fact. Astro Fitzgerald, though, giving the counter view, he looks great to me. I'm always happy to get another dog in the line. Awesome. Great to have a broader range of opinions there. Thanks for sharing, Asteroid Fitzgerald. Lone Dragon, I hope Order is well articulated. Plan to use him as the driver for my second vamp. I feel fairly confident that will work. I'm certain it will. I share your confidence, Lone Dragon. Jono there, German Shepherds have longer bodies. They do indeed. I saw one just the other day while walking my own dog. Put a cape on it, might be Dino Mutt. Dino Mutt, jeez, I've not heard that for a while. UB Play N, you'd think they would just put a different head on Timber. Yes, you could. That wolfy shape. Interesting. Nerd alert, Hasbro has definitely lacked in quality since the inflation. The quality in plastic has changed in some accessories. I'm not feeling the rubber plastic and these weird cartoon eyes on the Joes. Yeah, trimming, you know, cost efficiency, isn't it? I think you're absolutely right. That these little things creep into the action figure experience we're getting because they try to trim some costs and save some money here and there. Being a fine figure, face is a little off, but it's still good. Definitely picking up Law and Order. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is not stopping me from buying the set. Just this one photo gave me a moment's pause and a tilted head of, is that right? Is that proportion right? Is there something going on there? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so there you go. GeForce. Focal length is playing tricks in this pick, I think. Yeah, I think that may well be the case. Although John is saying even in the renders, Order's proportion looked off to me. Right, well, okay, so I think where we're at then with this one, and just to finish off before I put my final point on it, well, another figure that I'm looking for could be a bad photo, but they've been killing it with the pets in Classified. Yeah, and that's, I don't dispute that. I think the pets, the creature companion selection, certainly the four-legged friends have been brilliant. They've been excellent, haven't they? I'd like some of the birds to have been a bit better, like Polly, I think, you know, and the like have got it a bit short shrift, but overall it's good. So I'm holding out hope that, like G4 says, maybe it's something to do with the photo and just the way they've taken the picture. I'm holding out hope because you're right, they do a great job with the four-legged friends for sure. Yeah, G-Force. Like you say, Jono, they do animals well. I'll wait for the actual reveal. And UB Play N. It's cool that they're using that modular body armor some more. Yeah, which I think it looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's got the the plug-in sections at the side there, hasn't it? You can see the plug-in hole. Brill. Okay, so I think we're as far as Order is concerned, the general consensus in the MoDXtra Games Collectibles viewing community is up for it. Really want a Law and Order. Let's see what the dog looks like in realsies before we, vilify it. Right, the next two are the juicy surprise ones, folks, that you've been waiting for. I don't know if you saw these knocking around, but we now have a reveal of Slice and Dice. So let's go and have a look at Slice for a minute. Oh, Nerd Alert. I wonder if he has a growling head, I'm assuming. Yes, there was... I've got it in a folder. I could dig it out, but the digital render, I'm quite certain there was two heads for Order. Quite certain. I could dig out the picture, and we'll do in a minute if you'd like me to, but I'm pretty sure. And maybe someone else can remember. But pretty certain there was two heads. But here you go then, Slice and Dice, folks. So there's Slice. Obviously, it's a production prototype that J-Khan 7 has snapped a quick shot of there. And again, we got it's slightly a bit blurry, bit pixely, so it's hard to get down into some of the finer detail. And because it's not coloured, or a great deal of work has been done, paint applications and stuff, like the face, there's something cool going on with the face, I think, but I can't quite, can't quite put my finger on it. And I suspect the helmet, because Slicer's a sort of silver grill piece, doesn't he? A metal grill piece over the front there, that's all black on that. So interested to see what the script is there. But a popular set of characters that folks are keen to get in the line. Again, if Eric's still around, his dinner guests may have arrived by now, but if Eric is still around, Eric's a fan of Slice and Dice. Dice as well, again, a bit bulkier. Selection of helmets in there, good quality sort of martial arty ninja weapons, which is great to see. So, yeah, all on board with these. Looks like folks are asking... Jono here. Slice looks sweet. No idea about the character, but defo getting Red Shadow vibes off him. He's a ninja, evil ninja dude, Jono. Well, they both are. They're like a double team. I'm pretty sure the storyline was that assassins that were sent to try and kill Snake Eyes, if I remember that correctly. Anyone reread it recently? Picked up the compendium? Being a Fine Figure asking, are they a 2-pack or individual releases? No idea. There's been no formal official announcement, to my knowledge, from Hasbro directly. So we don't know. There's rumours knocking around that they are a 2-pack, but where the source of the rumour is, and whether that's just wishful thinking, speculation, or whatever, I don't know. But to my knowledge, there's not been anything officially said on that subject. It'll get revealed on a stream. Last year and the year before, they did a little cheeky December YouTube channel fan stream, Hasbro fan stream. And I saw someone saying, well, maybe these two are a little fan stream surprise at the end of the year, but I'm not sure about that. It's all speculation, being a Fine Figure. GeForce is asking, what's with the toes? Oh, yeah, like curled up. Nerd Alert, Slice and Dice look interesting. Being a Fine Figure, not familiar with these two. Yeah, they I don't think they ever appeared in the cartoon. They're definitely comic book characters. I know them from the comic books. Flavel's out for dinner with the fam. Cheers, everyone. Take care and stay warm. Yeah, cheers, Flavel. Take it easy. Enjoy your dinner. UB Playend says, Full Force said it's a 2-pack and he's usually in the know. Okay, great. There you go. So that's where the source of the 2-pack speculation is coming from, is Chris over at the Full Force. And yeah, and Chris is usually in the know. He usually gets the inside scoop directly from Hasbro. So thank you, UB Playend. We can take that piece of information then. Ashroy Fitzgerald, I was never into the ninjas, so this is a pass for me, though they do look nice. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, everyone's got their thing. Is Dice the figure in question on the back of Nemesis Immortals box? I don't think so. No. I don't think so. The figure on the back of the Nemesis Immortal box is... well, that's Cobra Commander, isn't it? Do you mean on the back of... Excuse me. One sec, let me just have a quick sip of my drink. Not Nemesis Immortal. Is it Nemesis Immortal? Who's the... I know who you mean. One sec. You're talking about the dude with the blade in the back of... He's talking really slowly so that... He was in one of the promo photos. Here we go. It was in the background of one of the promo photos. Yeah, there was a dude in the background with a blade. I think that dude in the background there is the Cobra La, like, trooper dudes. I think that's what that is. At least that's I believe that more to be the case than it being dice. Only because, to my knowledge, there's no Nemesis Immortal dice point of contact in terms of them appearing in a storyline together in the cartoon or the comic books. I'm not saying that's not the case, but it's my belief that the figure in the background is like one of the Cobra La guards. Cobra la 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 la. Slice looks like a distorted commando snake. Nerd alert, 2-pack makes sense. 2 characters I might consider. The ninja characters are never a waste of money. The articulation is usually the best. Wilfredo, shadowy figure in the promo photo. Yeah, that's... does everyone know what Wilfredo was talking about? Hang on. Hold on. Let me put that there. And then put that there. And then do that. In the background, you can't see my mouse, but can you see in the background at the back of the cave there? See that little dude back there? That's who he's talking about. And I think that's like a Cobra La guard. So for Cobra La guard. One of these dudes, I think. See that like blade? I think he's one of these dudes. If I was a betting man. IMHO, as the kids say. Let me put that back over there. Let me put that back over there. Full screen that. And then I need to get back to slice and dice. There we go. Bobby Dubs. Feels like Hasbro's a little bit more quieter on the G.I. Joe line this year. Most of the emails I've been getting from them lately are either Transformers or watch Ernie Hudson play with that. Yeah, although they did say that they had a very busy period of time at the end of 2023 trying to play catch up. So I suppose it was to be expected. But what it did mean is it's kind of set a standard and expectation that created a bit of disappointment, I felt, at times. Because the streams didn't quite feel as energetic or have as much momentum or as big as they had done previously. But you're right, it has been quieter this year. I mean, I've not done the maths in terms of how many, figure-to-figure release comparison or anything, but you're right. I hope the weapons are more realistic. Love the retro callback, but silver and black weapons always look great. Yeah, a painted blade on the bladed weapons for me is just like a bare minimum must. Will, dude with the blade, yeah. Cloaked character in the background, definitely a raw guard. Def had a cloak or a cape. I hope it's Pythona in the background. Is that her name? Yeah, I'd love a Pythona. That scene, I was talking to Lawrence about this just the other day. And that scene where Pythona breaks into the Cobra base, and smashes her way through to get to Cobra Commander and Serpentor. Brilliant. Such a vivid memory of that. You're right, Chris. Well, even a broken clock is correct. Twice a day, Will. So I'll take it. Cheers, bud. The next picture I've got here, actually, just while we're on Slice and Dice, it just looks to be a close-up of the helmets. I like this that dragon sculpt on the one for Dice there. Obviously, the more classic sculpt on Dice, and then the classic look on Slice. Obviously missing the paint applications, because I suspect, like I said before, Slice is going to have the grilled front there, and some stuff going on with Dice's. Nerd alert! It's the best scene when she runs through. That movie rules. Yeah, it's divisive, but I'm a fan. First, Nerd Alert, I know it's your first time around, so apologies to the regulars who I've said this to before. But G.I. Joe the movie was the first time I ever saw G.I. Joe animated. My knowledge and understanding of G.I. Joe for a long, long time as a kid was just from the comic books, the Marvel UK comic books that I used to buy Action Force. And so the first time I ever saw a cartoon version of G.I. Joe was the movie. Weather Dominator Lenny and Amazing Tony have tried with sharing info on their Instagrams to keep in touch. Yeah, Tony's pretty good, actually. He's quite good for getting the higher res versions of the digital renders and stuff after they've done a stream. So I've often said, oh, I got these off Tony's Instagram page because they're better than screen capping from the vids, you know. Nerd Alert likes the helmets. The helmets look awesome. All right, it sounds like, except for one or two individuals who aren't really into the ninja stuff, Slice and Dice are going to be a winner, so keep your eyes peeled for an official announcement on those guys. Johnny says they look cool, but they're a pass for him. Fair enough, my man. Last one on the list now, dudes. We're nearly at the end. Well, we are at the end. It's the last one. The Trench Viper. There was a picture of the Trench Viper make its way through. You know, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I have a little bit of disappointment that the trooper character that they chose to put in with the Portaloo was an Alley Viper repaint. I'd have much preferred a kind of more basic, more straight up Cobra trooper. But the more I see of it, the more I like the color, the color scheme, right? And the more I like the paint job. And seeing it there even more makes me go, I quite like that. I know the that kind of blocky sort of urban camo thing. Some folks aren't so keen on, but the more I look at it, the more I go, all right, it won't be too painful because I really want to pick. I want to pick up the Portaloo for a couple of reasons. One, I want to encourage the G.I. Joe design team to carry on and do more sets of that nature, but also just out of curiosity, I want to see how it looks and feels. But I was like, oh, but an Alley Viper, I'm not the biggest fan of repeat characters. I don't have a lot of repeat characters in my G.I. Joe collection, other than a few Vipers and the two different Crimson Guards and stuff. So I was a bit like, but it does look good. I must admit, it does look good. So yeah, interesting one. But I will probably be picking up the set and getting a Trench Viper because I want to check out the playset. You know, get a feel for that and support the playset idea. But let's see what folks in the chat have got to say on this one. Although, Nerd Alert on the movie. Seeing the movie as a first-time experience must have been awesome. Very cool. I remember that day still. Yeah, it was. It was awesome. I was like, what? Amazing. Because my experience had only ever been in that, in the two-dimensional kind of comic book experience. On a mission to make customs for my favourite band, The Warning. It's an interesting one, G-Force. Jono, the Trench Viper looks awesome, but so don't need another Alley Viper repaint. Yeah, I'm in agreement there. Lone Dragon says, how about a Range Viper? Yeah. Yeah, just something a bit, I don't know, the Alley Vipers seem like a strange choice, and they're so freaking obsessed with Alley Vipers, aren't they? Alley Vipers and bats. Just churning out loads of Alley Vipers and bats. G4 says he likes the Trench Viper better than the previous two. Yeah, so it was a Crimson, wasn't it? Crimson Alley Viper, and then, of course, the main line, the core one. Which, mine's quite nearby, actually, because I had him out the other day. Yeah. Although I do have a fondness for the bright orange and blue camo. Like it's just crazy, just mad. Like I love that these guys are like, yeah, I'm an Alley Viper, and you can see me wherever I am, and I don't give a fuck because I've got a shield. I just love it. Just love it. Although mine's, I managed to fuck up the wrist on the one behind the shield. Look, I don't know if you can see that on camera. I managed to fuck up the wrist. Not that it matters, it's behind the shield. Nerd Alert here. I feel like they have too many variants of troopers, but fine with the troopers chosen in the line. So my passes might get the bunker. Yeah, cool. John is saying that, yeah, that's a good point. The Range Viper was a nightmare to get. Put him out again. Yeah. Yeah, he was difficult. I like the Range Viper a lot as well. And the Range Viper would look good with like a sort of, you know, like a sort of darkened repaint like that. It'd be a more interesting one to reinterpret than the Trench Viper, I think. Nelson Culligan in the house. Everyone say hi to Nelson. Welcome, 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 my friend. Regular in the comments on MoDXtra games and collectibles. Trench Viper, different body than the Alley Viper, pinless. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, and actually, the boots are different. Hey, well spotted, Nelson Culligan. Yeah, you're right. It's the same vest, isn't it? And the same helmet, the head and the helmet. But the legs are different. And the arms are different. Are the arms different? Huh. Well, bugger me. Well done, Nelson. Thank you for pointing that out. Huh. Every day's a learning day. G-Force is agreeing with Jono. The Range Viper is needed. Hope the playset holds together well. Yeah, I think a lot, you know, let's see. Let's see. It may be an absolute failure in implementation and we'll all be gutted, but I'm just desperately hoping it's not the case. Asteroid Fitzgerald, the digital camo looks great, but I can see why some people aren't fans. So kind of in the similar ballpark to me by the sounds of it, Asteroid Fitzgerald. And G-Force is high-vis orange camo in battle. Shoot me first! Yeah, it is. It's like a... I just love it. It's like a... I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. So what? You can see me in amongst the tree line, clearly. I don't give a shit. Got my helmet. Got my shield. I'll take it. all for the Cobra cause. Oops. Let's see what else everyone's saying. Profit. That shield should be adaptable for left or right carry. Yeah, the other one as well. The other big shield bothers me that it's not can't go both ways. Wilfredo, I pre-ordered 3 mostly because I'd love to get the base, and you know that gridiron will have something to add to this item. Yeah, that's something else I'm curious about. I've only put in on a pre-order of 1 just to satisfy my curiosity, just to show the support for the idea. But I will be a little disappointed if I get it and I think, well, this is great if, you know, if I've got 2, if I've got 3, and at that point, they're pricing me out of that experience, and that would bother me. John O'Gridiron makes some awesome stuff. The legs for the Trouble Bubble as a prime example, but the cost and shipping over here is too much. Yeah, you can't get older Gridiron over here for anything reasonable. And Will's saying there, the must have been weird for you hearing them talk with American accents. Yeah, and some characters, like, so in the UK publication of the comic book, Flint was British. So... you know, I'm always imagined him to have a British accent. Gridiron is pricey here too, but at least we don't get nicked on the shipping. Yeah, and that's it, because it's pricey to begin with, and then you put the shipping price on it, and if it gets caught at customs and you're taxed on it, game over. Bobby's saying here, somewhere I saw a photo of like 6 of those bunkers put together, and it looked like Donkey Kong with ladders and the levels. Yeah, so if you go to Jay's Retro Collectibles, Jay was at the MCM London Comic Con when they did a further reveal, and they had some photos, and you can see that setup in one of the pictures that was on the PowerPoint presentation they were doing at the time. I think that's what you're referencing there, Bobby. Right, okay, well there we go, and that's it. That's the unless something has come out tonight, that's everything in terms of what's been leaked and seen out the back door of the production prototypes and such like that pickies have leaked of the upcoming G.I. Joe Classified series stuff. So I suppose the only other thing is that it's curious to me that they've made an announcement about potential production delays recently, and then we're getting leaks of like basically finished figures coming out. So it must be something to do with the actual production line, you know. So, but there we go. That's everything that I've seen. Like I say, unless something's snuck out while I've been on with you guys. Profit 94. Gridiron is salty about the bad knees since they already had modular pieces. They may not support it. About the bad knees. Well, you'll have to elaborate on that, Profit. I'm not. I may have missed a comment there. Is there a particular character that you're talking about? Gridiron are doing the weapons for Fresh Monkey Fiction's Order of the Crimson Moon stuff, aren't they? Which is a line I'm very, very interested in. Very, very interested in. And the fact that Gridiron are doing the weapon selection. And have they done something with Bobby Valor as well? Have Gridiron done a collab in the Action Force space somewhere? Do I remember that right? Bad knee in the bunk. Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, Gridiron. It looks great. It looks fantastic. You know, I'm definitely, you know, I had a look on their website and had a good nosy over their stuff and gone, oh, that does look good. That does look good. But just, yeah, like Jono said before, it's pricey to begin with. Throw in the shipping, the possibility of getting taxed when it comes in, and, you know, it's too painful. It's too painful. Right then, guys. Okay, we're at 25 to midnight. I've done roughly me 90 minutes that I committed to at the beginning, so I'm going to start to bring this to a close. If you've got any final comments, questions, queries, concerns, or things to share, now's your moment. Get them in quick, because I'm going to wrap us up imminently. But, as always, excited to see more G.I. Joe classified stuff. I know that some folks been talking around, like, is it losing steam? Is G.I. Joe classified running out of pace? And I don't think that it is. I think it is starting to now show signs of, you know, some classic kind of Hasbro behaviors, but, you know, in terms of like the heavy reuse and that, but I still think the line's going strong. Oh, John is asking me about the Mythic Legion's dragon. Yeah, I saw that. It does look freaking amazing, doesn't it? Again, you know, as I've said with HasLabs before, it's just too big and too expensive for me. But folks, go and check it out. Go take a look at the Mythic Legion's dragon that they revealed at LegionsCon. They got it in a big Dio, kind of storming through a dungeon crawl kind of situation. It looks fucking brilliant. Amazing. Being a fine figure. Had an awesome time. It's dinner time here. Had a great night. See you guys soon. Yeah, okay. It looks like everyone's ready to shoot off, so we'll wrap that one up there. A pleasure as always, folks. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Just remember, I'm a bit infrequent. If I do stream, it'll be a Tuesday or a Thursday night, but just keep an eye on the Instagram page or on the YouTube community tab. I'll always put a couple of hours notice out when I get an opportunity. But thanks for everyone for contributing your thoughts, your comments, your feedback on the stuff that I've shared today. Hope to see you again sometime soon. But otherwise, take it easy, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. And I'll see you next time. All right? Ta-da now. Are you sure your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live? Yes, I'm sure. End. Bye.